By the looks of things, it's moving very quickly. But we're going to take you to a place you've never seen before. Deep underground zero.
Welcome. Thank you for being here. So, today we're going to be looking at DAWless workflow once again, because that's what I'm into. That's what I know well. These are the things that I can do. Types of things that I can do kind of without really thinking too hard. So for me, this is the perfect topic, the perfect discussion to have. So my name's Will. I appreciate you for being here. And so what this is, DAWless workflow. DAWless workflow. I actually want to kind of change what that even means. I want to enter in a new term, because it doesn't really apply to me. It does apply in some situations, but I guess if we're talking about flexibility, workflow, syncing hardware and Midi, you want hybridity. So I don't want to be restricted by a computer. I don't want to be restricted by a piece of equipment. I want full hybridity. So I just want to be able to do everything if it's possible. And in some cases it's not, but we can get, as close as we can with practice and with the correct kind of workflow, for what you're trying to do. So there's many ways to get to the same destination. What I'm going to do today is last time, so on Wednesday, 2 days ago, I talked about setting up MIDI tracks to then program MIDI so that you can manual chop. Like if you wanted to program some synthesizers in real time and then have that audio coming back into the MPC. Excuse me. Let me make sure that I know my music is getting in, but am I? Yeah. All right. So getting the music back into the MPC through one of the inputs so that you can manually chop it while your beat is playing and nobody really knows what you're doing because you've got a audio track on another piece of equipment that is playing back the sample, so you're chopping it in real time because you can't stop your MPC. If you stop your MPC, it kills the workflow. So once you get going, you have a separate piece of equipment that has the ability to do audio tracks without stopping. So like a live looper, RC505, the Deluge is great. You can do some of this stuff with the Force if the Force is the master. If the Force is the slave, then it won't work. Unless you're using Ableton Link or... I think that's it. Ableton Link. I don't know, there might be some other way. But basically, you want to have something that can stay in time with your MPC so that while the audio is coming back to the MPC, you're able to chop while your drums are still playing. and then you're able to integrate those chops into your performance in real time. Because then you just navigate after you chop, you navigate back over, you mute your sample, and then you pick up by hitting the overdub and playing your chops. So there's a bit of memory that goes into it when you're chopping, trying to remember when you're hitting a pad, what it sounds like at that moment you're chopping, because you only get one chance. This is all improvised workflow. So you only get one chance to remember what your pads are going to be like. And that's why in some cases, for me, I'll be doing something live and it'll look kind of crazy or it'll sound whack because you know what? The sample I thought was on that pad isn't. And you don't have time to memorize everything like that, but it'll come with time, especially when you start being able to improvise your audio that you're gonna chop. You start improvising that audio in a way that suits your chopping. I found plucks are the best stuff that's in time. So most of the time what I do is I'll sync the arpeggiator from the MPC so that the plucks and so the arpeggiators and the sequences that are coming from the Prophet or whatever are all happening in time. So with that, when I'm chopping in time, I'm getting the chops where I want them. But with link slices off, you can navigate the slices any way you want and kind of develop a different sound, something in between your chops or whatever. So you're not limited that way. So I'm going to do these types of things where I can go over certain stuff and just to try to express what I do because of the liberating nature of it. It's just a great feeling to be able to work in real time. And I think with enough work at it, with enough training, practice, that this could be a viable solution to actually, I'm finishing up this project and not finishing it. I have all my tracks, but I'm working on getting some MCs and whatnot. So this project I actually recorded in real time. So every track is a track that has been completely resampled all into a single track. So you got to have your mixing because once you do that, you're locked in. You really don't have anything but EQing and effects, but you're dealing with a piece of audio that is what it is. So if it's clipping, if it's not normalized, if you got to try to get your audio as close as you can to where you want it with your panning and this and that, because once you resample everything, it is what it is. So that's the theory in it, is you work in a nature that allows you to actually do finished tracks in real time. And I believe it's possible because technology is crazy. I can move those faders on that mixer right there with my iPad, and I can automate with my mixer. So if I went in and automated things ahead of time, let's say I wanted some filtering and stuff like that, I could actually automate a whole track with no audio and then record in that track the audio that will be automated in real time by memorized automation or recorded automation, I should say. All right, so let me do this real quick. I want to talk because I jumped right into kind of the workflow last live stream. So let me just talk about the cables real quick so that anybody that would like to do this stuff, but this is like way out there, excuse me, I'll go ahead and just quickly give you a quick understanding of the routing. And this is just my phone that I plugged in to my switcher. So the good people at Switcher Studio have made it so that even if you're not a member or paying for their services, that you can still use their camera and all this stuff. I don't know if they know that, but I know that. So let's do this real quick. Here's the MPC. All right, so what you want real quickly is you've got, I'm going to try to get an angle. All right, that'll work. There we go. All right, so what you want is you've got 2 sets of MIDI inputs here, and you've got 4 sets of MIDI outputs, which are here, there, and so on. On an MPC Live, I believe it's 2 and 2. I don't know if, I think the 1 is 1 and 1, I believe, and so isn't the Force with a through port. So you want your MIDI to come in, so you want to put the cable from the out of the synthesizer or drum machine or whatever, from the out of the machine into the in, okay? A and B. So, or actually I should say 1 and 2, because these are A, B, C, and D, the outputs. All right. So now on the audio side, and if you have any more questions about this, I have tons of tutorials. I've got one. I'm wearing a tie on the thumbnail. It's bright blue. You can't miss it. It says external MIDI workflow or something like that. That'll give you everything you need. It's going to cover a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about today, but it's going to miss the functional part. So audio. Okay, you've got your audio ins in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So what I have is an input that comes from my mixer. So if you got to see it, it goes down along here. You're about to see it. This is what the lab, this is what the Dark Ship Enterprise looks like. This is enough cables to power probably a block of my neighborhood. And these are all like 25-foot cables. So this is not an inexpensive, oh, Jesus. You know, definitely going to cost you something to get going, you know. So you follow these around all the way to the back, lots more cables, goes up over there into the big mixer. So I have a mix out. The mix out comes in pairs. So we've got mix out. See if I can zoom in a little. Okay, so right next to the last fader, right? See, where's my hand? There we go. Right. Where the hell is my hand? Okay, I'm working with some delay. All right, so right there. These are the mixes, okay? Starting from the top, we've got mix 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then they're pairs. 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, okay? So I have 10 sets of mixes, output mixes. If you want to have a similar workflow, what you need is either auxiliary outputs on your mixer, or you need to have an interface that has outputs. You need to have some sort of interface that will allow you to route, you know, by like assigning the output itself. You want to be able to multi-track. So I have one mix output going into my hardware switcher, which goes to the feed, the live stream feed. Then I've got one output mix out comes to my X. I've got one mix out that comes to my Force. I've got one mix out that comes to my Deluge. I've got a mix out that goes way over here for my 2000 XL. And I also will put another, you know, my Deluge or something over there too sometimes. So that is the mixes. And what you want to do is you want to find the best workflow, whether you want to use mono tracks. I use a mono track because typically when I sample on the MPC, I'm sampling in mono. So for me, I didn't need a set of stereo inputs. You know, you'll have to decide for yourself how you want to work. So let me get back to this thing. All right, so if I need this again, I'll just leave it here. Okay. All right. So now, if what you want to do, all right, let me look at these real quick because I don't want to get too far off base here. Okay, so that was the audio cable side and the MIDI cable side. Oh, by the way, check this out. Nice little journals. You can grab yourself one if you'd like to support the crew. StreamAeroLabs.com. Nice. I mean, perfect for this type of stuff, actually. It's not too big, doesn't get in the way. It's perfect. And it's just for us, you know? It's just for fun. So, all right. So, let me show you my knob settings. I think this is kind of an overlooked thing. Now, I still have this camera right here. Come on. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Okay, that should be good now. Let's see. Yep. All right, cool. All right, so on my settings. All right. Now, I think that this is important because a lot of people will they will be frustrated with how their stuff isn't doing what they think it should be doing, and a lot of times it's just your knobs. You know, you got your knobs set up for a different workflow. So for me, in the way I work, I don't want to hear anything that's coming into my MPC until after I've already sampled it. So I don't want to hear it while I'm chopping it. So I keep it on main. Now, if I wanted to basically let it pass through, then I would keep it on direct. But because what I do is I send multiple mixes, I send a mix here, and I send a mix here and everywhere else. I don't want to get the same mix twice. So because I have it going to the feed already, I don't let it pass through. If I didn't have this, it would be no problem because it could just pass through. No big deal. I wouldn't have to hear it any other place, I guess. So on your gain knobs, when you plug in to port 1 or 2 or 3 and 4, you've got a knob that controls the volume level. So right now I'm using, is it 1 or 2? I think it's 1. I think it's 1. Yeah, it's 1, I think. So with 1, you only have to worry about these two knobs with these two inputs. 3 and 4 are for these guys. The I believe they're TRS inputs, and these are XLR inputs. So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I typically will keep my gain knob. Usually I try to keep everything, if I'm using it, I try to keep it at a place where it's usually about halfway. That's just the way I work. I used to have it different. I used to do it 3/4, but I found that I was getting, during my live streams or during my live performances, I would end up hearing the playback louder. You know, once I had chopped everything, it would, when I start to play the chops back, it would always be much, much louder than when it came in. So I want to try to keep the audio relatively the same, and you'll have to play around with that. You know, if you you just play your audio, let your audio come into an audio track and play it through, and then when it comes back around and starts playing on its own, is it the same loudness or not? If it's not loud enough, then just bring up your gain some. I know that sounds simple, but it can be frustrating when you're not sure why you're getting weird results from different settings and different knobs and you don't know what they do. So because I'm using just one, I don't need to worry about gain number 2. And like I said before, I sample in mono. So this right here is all you need to do, is just to have this. If you're like me and you sample in mono into your MPC, then just have this on mono, and when you go into your sampler, just make sure that you're on mono here, because it's easy to overlook these small things. All right, so I think that's about it on that, because these are not relevant. Yeah. Okay. So let's get on with it. Let me get on to the next part here. And if there is anybody here, I'm actually using a different setup today. So I can't even tell if there's anybody in here, or I can't tell if there's any questions or anything. I can't see anything. I can only see myself. So I'm going to pull up my phone right here just to make sure. Oh, I can see some people here. What up? Oh, what up, Jem? I see you. Oh, temp mode. What's going on? Yo, Rocco. Cool. Marcelo, hello. And let me just look and see if there's any questions or anything. My battery, yeah, it is. My battery's real low. You cannot overdub audio. You can use a looper though. If you want to overdub, if you want to use audio tracks in your workflow, go check out my looper video. I'm the only person that's figured out how to use the looper in a functional way for live performance. And I can even make it better. If you have a Midi controller, you can actually map the mutes to the pads on a Midi on like a Midi keyboard. And watch that looper video, because I show you how to actually export your live looper. Let's say you do like an 8-bar loop in the looper. I show you how to export it and have all of your pads pre-triggered so that when it hits on the 1, it'll start playing your loop back right on time and you won't lose any workflow. You gotta practice with it, but it's possible. All right, so yeah, leave any questions or anything like that if you have any. If I can't answer it, I'm sure there's somebody here or somebody will come through that can probably answer it for you. I don't know everything. I'm just willing to share what I do know. All right, so that was my knobs. Okay, and so let me see if I can actually see what's going on here. Okay, I'm on a better screen now. Cool. I started using a different system today. I went back to OBS. I'm using Streamlabs, and my audio, the music is so much better. It's so clear. I brought the bit rate way up, and I'm getting really, really sharp, clean audio, where before I'm losing harmonics. I'm actually losing frequencies that go into compositions. So it's basically like you're kind of playing with your arms tied behind your back a little bit. So anyway, let me do this now. What I want to do is show you how to make an audio track out of a MIDI track. With this workflow, what I do is I create MIDI, then I modulate, I record any modulations. I have a feel for synthesis at this point because I've been doing it for a long time now. In my opinion, a long time. Learning about it constantly. I know how synthesis works. And so when I need to modulate something, I usually just do it in one pass. I don't redo things, I don't undo. I just do it and let it be. And it's a liberating thing just to let it go and just to move on to the next thing. You can really make some great progress on things if you just let it be and don't like, you know, get all stressed out about track. If you don't like what you're doing, just stop it. Don't beat it to death. You know, just stop it and move on to something else. So MIDI to audio tracks. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna grab my small MIDI keyboard because I don't want to make it. I don't want to handicap this. I'm just gonna grab a small MIDI keyboard, and I'll just plug that into the MPC. I'll set up the MIDI track real quick. I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll use the little keyboard to play something else over here. And then we will record that audio into an audio track. So I'll show you how you can manipulate the MIDI so that you can lock it in so that you can record it into audio, and then, you know, you can put effects on it or whatever you want to do. I got this key step. So let me plug this in, and I'll unplug all the other MIDI stuff. I don't really want to unplug everything, but I will. I'll do it. I'll do it if I can find a place to put it. Running out of spaces. I'll just make more spaces. Here. Let's put this up here then. Oh, that's the only thing about the Streamlabs, the OBS stuff, is that it's delayed. Very, very delayed. So whatever you're hearing right now, I actually said like 30 seconds ago. But it's cool. All right, so let me go to camera 2. All right, and I'm gonna unplug these. I've got a bunch of MIDI hubs. Sorry, USB hubs. I'll show you. These are USB hubs. So you plug the USB hub into the USB port, and now you got more USB ports. I've got 2 of them. Oh, there goes that camera. Got it just in time though. Cool, no problem. All right, so let me just finish that. Let me unplug these. And I'll pull up the MIDI track, the MIDI sync preferences, so you can see when I plug this in, when I unplug this and plug it in, what it looks like. So you can see I got tons of devices. Those are all just inputs. And then all of these down here are all outputs. So let's route some of these, but let's get rid of all the ones that we don't need for this, example. Okay, so you're gonna see all we got now is 1 and 2 and the remote. I can actually dial that in a little bit better. And now when I plug this in, we'll at least get the key step. Okay, where's the key step? Where'd it go? Oh, maybe I do have to have it powered. It may need some power. That's interesting. I didn't think that that would be a problem. Let me plug this into the MIDI hub or the USB hub. I keep saying MIDI hub. I do have a MIDI hub, that's probably why. Actually, you know what it probably is? It's probably this cord, because I don't think this is the actual cable that plugs in normally. I don't see it. All right, let me grab a different cable. Hey, part of the game. So, quick tip. USB Type C or mini USB, whatever, they often come in the exact same style, but different functions. So sometimes you'll have the right cable, it fits properly, but it's not working. It's because some send data and some don't. So some will give power and they will send specific events, but they won't send MIDI. Or you can have a camera even, like the zoom. Actually, Gemini has a zoom that we had that same problem with, and as soon as he swapped out the cable, it worked again. So let me see if this cable, I might have to try a couple, but let me just try this one. I'm terrified of that thing breaking in the back. Sounds like a friggin' guitar string. It's like some little metal thing that's gonna pop off. I'm gonna lose my USB port. There we go. See that? Check it out. So that's real-time troubleshooting for you. Just a cable. That's all it was. No big deal. It wasn't the USB hub or, you know, the Mpc. It's not junk. I didn't need to restart it. It's just the cable. Okay, so I want to be able to see the track, first of all. I want to be able to see this device inside of my track. Right now, you can see there's nothing highlighted. And let me back out just a little bit. Okay, so there's nothing highlighted, they're all off. And if I go to a track, let's go to an unused track and go to MIDI. I will not be able to find, you can't really see it because I'm not dialed in for that, but it just says remote. So I don't have the output. So let me go in here and make it so that I have access to this Arturia key step inside the track. So I hit track. Now, there it is, Arturia key step. There we go. You can kind of see that. Sure. If my camera didn't shit on me. Let's see, actually I got a power cord right here. Oh my lord. Whoops. My deluge. It sounds nasty. Alright, I'm plugging this thing back in just so that I can. That thing was handy. Alright, so we got key step. And let's control the Prophet 6. So let me make another track. I'm going to call this Prophet 6. Okay. So the Prophet 6 is going to be actually the MIDI port is going to be the Prophet 6. So in order for me to send MIDI to the Prophet 6, I have to have the Prophet 6 plugged in. So I do not know which MIDI hub it's plugged into. Okay, let's try this one. All right, there it is right there. There you go. Right, Prophet 6 right here. So let me put the track on. Because that's the input. I do want the input because I want to be able to modulate. I want to be able to record the modulation from the knobs and then the track. So what I want to be able to do is actually twist the knobs on my Prophet and have it record, and have it record the knobs being twisted. After I program, I'm going to program the patch or whatever, the sequence on the keys, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to twist the knobs and it's going to record me twisting the knobs. That's why multi-timbral MIDI is so beautiful, because you can actually have full access to on the fly parameter without having to drag a mouse around, Okay, so back to this. All right, so with the key step, I want to make sure I'm getting MIDI. I got MIDI in. And you know what? Let me set this one. I'm still here. I want to have a different angle for you guys that's not so close, but not too far. There we go. That's better. Okay, that's way better. All right, so the key step. So you're seeing MIDI blinking in and out. So that's cool. I don't want it to come in on all. What I want to do is I want to have the key step on channel 6. So that when I want to play the Prophet, all I have to do is switch this to channel 6. I don't want to have to do anything down here. So that's the quickest way to work the way I work, is to have everything preset to the proper channels. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this one. Oops. All right, so let me put this one on 6. I'm going to make it come, MIDI input is going to be from the key step, and it's going to be channel 6. You can see that right there. Channel 6, and then out to the Prophet. It's right here, but Prophet 6 right there. Okay, let me see if this thing will turn on yet. Nope, not yet. As soon as I can turn that on, I'll use it. All right, so Prophet 6, and then I want to go out to channel 6. So in from the key step channel 6, out to Prophet 6 channel 6. And that's just for the key step. It's just for the key step. All right, so then I'm going to turn off any of the monitoring for now, because I don't want that to be an issue when I start doing different things. So let me switch it over. So Prophet 6 now, the MIDI input is only going to be from the Prophet. So that's why this is important, is because we don't want key step data getting into the Prophet 6 data. So it's going to be in from Prophet 6 only on channel 6, and out only to the Prophet 6 again. I haven't done this. I mean, this is what I do in Ableton. This is what I do with other equipment. This is my first time setting my Mpc to do this specific thing, using this to record, for another piece of equipment, and then jumping on that piece of equipment and recording the MIDI separately. That's what we're doing here. All right. So, all right. So then the MIDI is going out to the Prophet 6, channel 6. You just got to remember, you know, what channel you're coming in on, what channel you're going out on. I don't want to have any interference. Okay. So right now, I'm only getting the input signal. You can see it right here. I'm getting an input signal only. That one little blinky light. That's because I'm not monitoring. So as soon as I hit auto, it's going to start sending also. So we'll get 2 lights. And then, let me go to, actually, let me shut this off first. All right, so let me get the key step monitoring. All right, so right now, the Prophet 6 is routed from the key step. So when I play the keys right now, it is going to send a signal to the Prophet 6 from the key step. But I don't remember if I even have the Prophet receiving MIDI from my Mpc yet. I may have to change that setting real quick, but let's see. Let me make sure that I have my Prophet turned up. Ah, it's muted. Okay. All right, so first thing I want to make sure is that I am sending MIDI to the Prophet. Okay, yes, we're good there. All right. So key step to the Prophet. Okay, that's the Prophet. That's my Prophet sound. Oh, you know what? I'm probably not even on channel 6 yet on the key step. So let me make sure that this is on channel 6. So with the key step, all you got to do is hold shift. Show you right here. Oh, and that one's jacked up too. All right, so you just hold shift. You hold shift, and then you've got a bunch of numbers. So this is how you change the MIDI channel. Hold shift, hit number 6. Now I'm on channel 6, but I still don't know if it's going to play yet. All right, but I'm getting close. Okay, so in on 6, out to 6. We're good there. I think what I need right now there we go. So I was going out to the USB, but the USB is routed to my Mio 10. My Mio 10 is way back there. So I've actually got 2 outputs for each device. I've got the 5-DIN MIDI, got a MIDI in and a MIDI out, going in on 1 and out on A. And I've got a USB hub that's also connected to my Mio 10. So I've got 2 different ways to get information. So the way I'm doing it right now is it's coming in through the key step. It's coming in from the key step on channel 6, and then it's going out on Mpc A, on output A. So that's how we're going to use the key step. And then for the Prophet 6, let me see if we get MIDI when I turn the knobs. So hopefully when I turn the knobs, this will blink up top here. All right, let's see. There we go. See that? That's just me turning the knobs like this. All right. So now I'm getting MIDI from the Prophet 6, and it's not passing through. So that's good, because I don't want the MIDI to be interfering with any recording stuff. So with it like it is right now, it's not passing through. It's just going to record what I do, and it'll start affecting the parameters after it records. So when it plays back is when you'll hear the effect of the MIDI. So let's see what it does. So I'll use this vantage point. And so the first thing I'll do is I'll just play something. Actually, because we have it set up like this, I can actually change the patch right here. So I'm going to go to Program Change, which is right here. And as I play this, oh, I'm on the wrong one. I can change the program. So it's just like having a plugin, a really expensive plugin that you can take places. See, I can do something with this because I can arpeggiate it, right? So let me just do something with this. So I will. All right, let me just see. Oh, all right. I'm gonna record a sequence on the Prophet 6. Actually, no, we don't want to do that, do we? Because we want to actually record the MIDI. So let me do that. Let me turn that down. All right. All right, so I'm going to do a 2-bar, I'll do a 1-bar recording. And, all right. Let me turn the metronome on so I can hear it. So we're not worried about what it sounds like at this point because we're going to affect it on the synth itself. So now I'm going to change the excuse me. So now I'm going to change. I don't even need to change it, but I'm going to change this to the Prophet 6. Now I'm going to tweak the knobs over here. When I get something where I'm doing something, then I'll hit record, and it should play it back as we noodle. That's what it's called. Get with the times, folks. coming in from the Prophet 6. Does automation have to be on? It is sending, but I'm not sure exactly yet why it's not recording my MIDI specific events. Oh, you know why? Did the same thing. I did the same thing. All right. Well, that's still not working, so that's maybe let me try on, because I might not be sending MIDI from my Prophet. I might not be sending all, I don't know, actually. That doesn't make sense. I should be able to do that pretty easily. So let me try this then. Let me try going out to the Rev 2 instead. And let me just try that, because the Rev 2 and the Prophet, I've used them both just like I'm using them right now in the past, but I've never used a separate MIDI USB, because I never really need to have a USB keyboard. Alright, so let me just see if I've got all this stuff set up right. Looks like it. That's probably hella loud. Alright, now you want to take, okay, there we go. Alright, let me see if this will work. So I'm coming in on the key step. Here, let me switch it over here. So I'm coming in on 7 now from the key step. Yeah, there we go. Out to 7, and then I'm gonna go to the Rev 2 instead. All right, let me try that. That should work, but all right, let me delete whatever's there. Let me play it from over here and see, because I haven't been using a MIDI USB keyboard. Let me just troubleshoot real quick. Alright, so that is not even wanting to play back. Let me see if it'll play back on Rev 2. Alright, so I definitely have something. I have something messed up here. Let me check. Mpc 2. Input. Okay, that looks fine. Well, that should be coming in. Let me change that to Rev 2. And I will explain just a second what's going on here. gonna send any. Let's just do that. Oh shit! I got a major MIDI. It's doing a major. All my shit is blinking. Oh, that's why. All right, try that. Okay. One thing went right. Alright, now let's see if I can record the knobs. So it's coming in on 7, out on 7. And I don't want to... There we go. Alright, let me try it. There we go. So that was what I was trying to show, is how you can record the MIDI and then affect it after the fact. So let me see why I wasn't able to do that. Now let me erase the MIDI on both of these, and now that I know the Rev 2 is working the way I meant for this to work, I'll switch it back now to the key step, because that was the original example. And I will have to go in. So for this to work, you have to have the input actually coming in on the track that you're using to play the external equipment, because I'm not going to be playing any sounds from my key, on the key step. So I want it to come in from the key step and go to the next track, because I've got it routed from track 1 in a sense to track 2. Now you can do this in a much easier way actually, just by sending the MIDI that's coming from track 1 to track 2. That's another way to do it. I'll have to do that on another live stream. But anyway, so let's just try that then. Now I got this. So the program changes are throwing me off a bit. So let me try this. And then, oh, no, we're gonna have to have it on auto. So that was kind of a fail, because I told you to have it on input only, but I'm wrong, okay? You must have it on auto with it armed, because not only are you letting it play through, but you're actually recording it in that track. And then you're going to record the MIDI turn, the knob turning on another track. So in the first track, you're recording the MIDI notes. So that's what we've done. So let me shut this quantize off, and let me give it a metronome so I can actually hear what's going on here. Alright, that's fine. So now I'm going to switch it over to track 2. 7 still. It should be the same, hopefully. Alright, so you saw that work. Okay. What I did, in a nutshell, was record from one keyboard the MIDI data. Sorry, the MIDI notes. And then I recorded the MIDI parameter changes on another track, because track 2 doesn't have any notes on it. If I go into the track, how do you navigate this damn thing? So if we go in here, look, there's no notes. Nothing. It's because there's no notes here. The notes are in track 2. There they are. The only thing that's in track 2 is the MIDI data of me turning the knobs, which I'm sure you'll be able to find like in the velocity or whatever. I don't get in. There it is. There's your data right there. There's your track data. That's me changing the knobs. So if you want to go one step further, let's affect these. We'll let it play. Okay. So that part at the end is super whack. So let's bring it down. Alright, so because I need to adjust these a little, always good. Alright, sometimes best way just to turn the damn knob to a different sound. Alright, so you saw that. Alright, now let's do this real quick. Let me just go ahead, transition this. Let me transition that to an audio track, because that's what I said I was going to do, right? So let me just transition that to an audio track. Alright, what you got to do, there's a little audio button right here. Click on that. I showed you earlier how to plug in the audio cables into the back. So I'm just going to make sure that the audio is coming in on the right channel. So I'm going to go to my preferences, and I'm coming in on 2, but I know that it's 1. But let me just double check. Okay, I don't see anything. Alright, so let me monitor. Maybe it is 2 then. Oh, you know what? I'm probably not even sending it to the Mpc yet. Hold on. Nope. Alright, I wasn't sending it on the right mix. Alright, let me see if it works now. There we go. So there's our audio coming in. So now what I want to do, because I want to get this into audio, because that MIDI shit is terrible and I want to move on. I just want to, give this a proper example. I'm going to double the track length so I can give you a better sense of what we're doing. So now it's 2 bars. I'm on input 1. I've got it at half level on input 1. I'm going out on 1 and 2. I'm arming it. I don't need to mute it, so let me unmute. It's armed and it's on auto. And if I'm smart, I'll leave it somewhere in this range, like halfway, somewhere like in there, like around 0 dB somewhere. Hopefully it'll play back properly. So let's see. I'm going to hit record. When I hit record, it's going to record the audio from the mixer, and then I'm going to mute the MIDI track at the end. So let me get to my MIDI track. Let me make sure my audio track is armed. Yeah, it's armed. Okay. And this is my MIDI track. So I'm going to mute these at the end so that all you'll hear is the audio. Well, I'm not hearing anything yet. Oh, shit. Okay, that was stupid. All right, let me go back to audio. Cool. All right, here we go. The automation of the mute. I'll show you that real quick. All I want to do is erase the automation of the mute. So I hit automation, and then I'm going to pull up the mute, the track mute. I don't want to erase all the automation because that was all the knob turning. So I'm just doing that because I want it to be muted, and I accidentally recorded the automation of me turning it off and on. All right, so now I should be good. It's muted. Both tracks 1 and 2 are muted. So all we're gonna get now is audio. And I'll show you the audio. There's our audio right there. And if you wanted to, you just go in and pull up the sample. Not sure which one it is. Not this one. Oh, which one was it? Let me go back. Audio 1. Well, I might not even... Oh, would it be audio 1, I guess? Let me see. Is it audio 1? Trying to... Yeah, there it is. So if I want to chop it, I got my regions. It's quite normalized. So let me do by regions. I always go with an odd number. So let me do 23. Yeah, I'll do 23. And let me chop it. Or convert it, I should say. Now I'm going to mute the audio. Turn on my metronome. And go back to unused track. There it is. That's not it. That's definitely not it. This one? That's the one. Let's do regions again. And I lost it again. Okay. Regions. Sure. Let's do 23 again. Convert it. Good enough. Okay. Okay, so I think that's way too many. Let me go down to 13 slices. Still too many. It's not enough. It's really not enough to play with there. So forget that. But you get the drift. This is how it works. You've got a MIDI track now, and you know, make sure that in your other tracks that you don't have MIDI, like with this track that I just made, this drum program with these shitty samples. It still has a MIDI side, so you want to make sure on your programs, on your drum programs, that you turn off the MIDI, or that you at least keep in mind that you could be triggering samples on other programs unless you're shutting them off. I haven't figured out yet what the global way is to have the MIDI input be none. I would like that very much, and only have MIDI input that I select. but for now, it'll work. So anyway, I guess that's it for today. I covered all the topics I wanted to get to. Let me just say what's up. Thank you. Yes. Mode says, I love all the gear. I was just reaching for the StreamYard button to pull up my stuff across the screen, and I'm in friggin' OBS today, so I don't even have it. But I appreciate that very much. And yeah, the sound is all right. So let me know what you're having problems with the audio tracks. If that was something that you had problems with previously, just let me know what exactly it is. Are you having trouble with getting them recorded? Are you having trouble with playing them back, or the levels of the audio, that kind of thing? And so I can help you a little bit better that way. Also, guys, please, if you wouldn't mind, just give my video a little love. I'd appreciate it. I do spend a lot of time thinking about interesting things to bring to the table, and I work extremely hard at this. I'm still not at 1,000 subscribers. I've been doing this like a madman for probably close to 2 years, and I am hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers just so that I can use my phone to do stuff. So please give my video a little love. I would very much appreciate it. And I don't get many people sharing my content, but if you feel that it's deserving, I would very much appreciate that. And I will definitely answer any questions I can. He says, when I record it, it seems like it's not loud enough. Okay. So when you do set up your recordings, make sure that your gain knobs are, set to the correct amount. If you're using something like a small piece of equipment, you can set your monitoring on so that you're going to hear exactly, if you plug in your headphones into your MPC and listen to it only through the MPC and not through speakers, you're going to hear exactly how it's going to be recorded. So that's, one thing is just the gain knob. The other thing is the direct knob. So the direct and the main and direct knob is very important. A lot of times people will not have the right, setting just on their knob, just on this knob. And it's just a matter of turning it the right way. So if you want to leave me an email or something like that, I'd be happy to help you offline. I can help you a little bit more if I have a little bit better, understanding. You can send me a picture or something of your panel so that I can say, okay, I can see right there what the issue is. You can send me a screenshot of the, settings. And yeah. So there's also a little Discord thing. You could always post a picture in there or something like that. So let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I'd be happy to help. And that's it. I think that's it, guys. All right. Oh, you said, Rocco. I didn't even see that. That's funny. Yeah, man. You got to be able to jump, bro. Got to be able to get up there. Got to have springs on your feet. Yeah. I get one hand. I used to be able to get a wraparound, like jump from just like one step in from the from the paint, one step in from the paint and jump and then come around the other side. and get it on the other side. So yeah, I got a nice hop. I think I'm around 36 inches when I'm at my peak. You know, I mean, I'm 40, so the fact that I can still even get up a little bit is good for me. You know, but yeah, so I'd like to get back into the swing of things again, get out there and ball. I want to do I would love to do like a retreat here this summer. If we ever get past this shit enough, I would love to have a retreat out here sometime this summer, because I got courts and I got like, oh man, I could do like a small little festival. To be honest, I got people in the area that would show up. It'd be cool. But yeah, so I see there's one more thing. Is there a way to export a loop? Yes. So you just, if you want to export a loop from the MPC to a clip, I'm pretty sure just how it works is you just set up a clip track. So if I go in here, I've never done this, but I would suspect that this is probably how it would work. You'd go to clips, and so this is now a clip track. You know, it's got a program in it. Let me call this the loops. I'll call this loops. Okay, now I'm going to go to the looper. So if I go over to the looper by holding shift and hit sampler, now I'm in the looper. So let me see if I still got my little crap Midi thing. Let me unmute it. Let me unmute that. Let me get rid of the automation again from the mutes. All right, so there's that. No, that's horrible. I can't believe I'm still rocking with that. It keeps going to this horrible thing. Hold on. I don't know why it keeps going to this program. It's because I don't have it set up. I don't have this set up properly for program changes. Try this. I'm just trying to. Let me get rid of. I have to get rid of these notes. Do it. Erase. Do it. Change this patch. I'm trying not to get so close here. All right. Oh, it's still. It's not even set up. Oh, yes, it is. My bad. I saw it. Oh, that's super weird. It's doing something pretty funky right now. Yeah, the mutes, the monitoring and all that, it's something else, man. You really gotta wrap your mind around all the monitoring, and it's just a lot. All right, so now I'm gonna go to the looper. So you got your loop. I'm gonna arm it, so when it comes back around, it's gonna loop. I got it set to 8 bars, so Yeah. Hold on. All right, so then what I'm going to do is go over here and I'm going to mute this right here. Now we're just hearing audio. That's it. So check it out. That's it. So you want to export it? This is how you would use it in a live performance. You would use the looper to export, and then if you choose the program, we want loops. Unless it will only let you do a clip. I'm pretty sure, let me see. Okay, I know you can save it. So if I save it, it'll go. But let me check one more time. Program 1. Oh, I didn't call. Okay, hold on. Let me call this something. Export to program 1, to grime, program 2. Okay. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is just save it. It's saving as looper sample. I'll call it Lush. Okay, so I'll save Lush. Now I should be able to import it. I don't really work with clips very often, so there should. I don't even know how the hell to. I mean, this is a lot of work, though. Like, I wouldn't use this because it's way too complicated. Yeah, and I don't even know how to access it in there. I'll have to look back into this because I know that it is possible. I've seen other people send. Somebody in the comments might be able to answer that.
Unknown caller.
Oh, all right, guys. That's my partner. Sorry, guys. Hold up. I will get back to you guys on the next one, actually. I gotta take that call, but if I was to try to export this one more time, I know that there isn't a specific clip, but if you sent it to a program, let's say program 1, then you can just hit a pad. So now it's going to pad 1, program 1. So you can actually do this in real time. You have enough time to do it. And so you just hit keep. And now I just go to program 1, wherever that is. There it is. So, yeah, I can do this more in depth the next time. I'm going to make a note right now because I'll forget. But let me look into clips, exporting clips. Oh, wait, exporting looper. Export loop to clip. All right, I'll look into that. And yeah, if there was anything else, just leave a comment. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Again, please give my shitty little channel a thumb. I'd really appreciate it. All right, let me just look real quick. Oh, what up, Jim? Peace, man. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. All right, guys. Peace, everybody.